So again, in the last chapter, Rick and Alex and Mikhail just started battering each other, so angry at each other. And this is chapter 8, with the wounds still fresh and the bruises yet bright. The words that had been spoken were still fresh on my lips. Scrub, scrub, scrub. I couldn't get them out. Like the green gunk at the back of my tongue, my brush could not reach that far without gagging me. Maybe could have used the good reflux, but I held it in instead, like I'd been holding a lot of other things in. But for sure that restroom didn't need another projectile stain. There had been enough damage. Ended up showering that morning, even without the curtains. So what if people see? It's about time I cleaned up, showed who I really was. Between lathering my follicles and cleaning the trickling water pellets drops through facial hair that I would soon trim, I remembered the boys. Yes, Rick and Alex could be French shower bags themselves, but really, I had never, and probably never will, see things from their perspective. I simply cannot. I am stuck in my own world, terribly alone and terribly trapped in a spinning vat of nothing, like in the Daft Punk song, "You've given me too much to feel, sweet touch, you've almost convinced me I'm real. I need something more, I need something more." And that's that. Everlasting egotism. The philosophers call it solipsism. The cinematographers call it a lens. The shamans call it the demon. The Ricks in this world call it nothing. They don't even think about it. They just act. Machines operating of their own volition. Apparatuses of indigestion. Concentrated carnivores. Scatological beatbox champions. He wasn't going to change, and I wasn't going to either, even if things didn't make sense. And what was I? Where was I? Stepping out of the shower, I accepted the fact that Rick, Alex, and I were going to split up, and I didn't want to even acknowledge it at first. I had been too busy thinking about the world around me, trying to take it in and by hit on women. Why? I wasn't even that kind of guy back in Texas. Or was I? Or maybe I'm over the maybes. Rick and Alex and I again were splitting up. We had cut ties way before the English Gardens. Way before. And it took a kick to the gut to realize I'd been alone my whole life. Selfish and alone. If only we had something to bring us back together. Rick stumbled in. His eyes were their native red. His skin tan, almost burnt. But his gaze upon me suggested the sweet glaze of a simple donut. It brought me back home. I didn't feel like kicking his ass, which is what I'd told myself I would do should I ever run into him again. "Good morning," he said, caught between brushing his teeth and running away. "Yo, feel me for a second." I stepped up to the man. "You know I can be an asshole sometimes." "I know," he said. "Me too." We hugged like only two best friends could. Granted, I was in a lost and found yellow bath towel, and Rick in his underwear, nothing else. But we broed out. Rick was the nicest guy I knew. Nay, not nice. Nice is what you call a girl in your class that no one likes, or a boy no one fucks. Nice. Nay, Rick was a bro, a gentleman, seen few and far between, of a caliber unknown to the race of man. The headless baton twirler in the parade called life. A backpacker extraordinaire. A counter demon. And the lord of the pissmire. Rick Callahan, un primo. Rick Callahan, how can I ever make it up to you, you red fire ant born of free will? How can I ever get over this guilt? I've been a fool. You were always there for me. You were a splinter in my butt, but at least you were there. You saved our bags in Genoa. You saved me from falling into a ditch by La Loire. You were there for me in Praha the next day. And now, where are you? Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Rick today is gone. Gone simply, and presently gone. He never came back. He disappeared in Europe. And before then, after that most bro of hugs, we dressed up in our finest nightly attire and woke Alex's quiet butt up. Alex, wake up, Alex, my boy, wake up! We shook the sucker till his Tutankhamun slumber unraveled. Between rubbing his eyes and checking the time, he coughed a bit and scratched his belly. What are y'all doing up so early? It's noon, dude. Early. Yo, I said, let's catch a train, man. Rick and Alex want to bounce. München blows. I agree, Rick said. You smell that? This dorm smells like shit. We gotta go. And listen, I know you're trying to catch your return flight in Amsterdam, but I don't think we should go there like you said yesterday, with some time to spare. Look, I've already been to Amsterdam, and frankly, it's all right. I say we go east. East? Alex asked, pondering, hesitating like a good Alex boy would. East, dude. East. Yes, Rick cried, shaking him again. Listen, man, east, Prague, why not? You got what, 4, 5, 6 days before your flight? We can make it. Alex nodded his head, then began nodding off. But Rick and I knew that if we didn't hop on a train right away, that kid was going to change his mind. Rick pulled him up by his collar. Alex, pack your bags, we're going to Prague. And just like that, we were brothers in arms, strapped tight like 50-liter backpacks to sweat. Summer was here, and we were high. By the time we had unclicked ourselves and found a cozy little nook on the train, Rick pulled out a bottle of red and some plastic cups he had snagged from the Hirsch's bar. And there's a bit of reminiscing there with the British guys who all just left, and I'm going to cut chapter 8 right there. That's the end. Chapter 8, done.